Hey everybody, what's happening? So apparently the Kardashian show is in its final season, and the Lakers the attendance, or the ratings for the Lakers playoff games are way down. And the other day, The Rock, also known as Dwayne Johnson, endorsed a vegetable. So last night President Trump had one for dinner, and I've been waiting to tell that joke all night. Anyway, yeah, so there was a debate, and it was interesting. There was lots of weird things that were not exactly true. Yeah, it's funny because the media seems to be pointing out all the lies Trump told, but didn't happen to notice all the lies Joe Biden told. But that's fully to be expected. There's a whole bunch of stuff about the debate, and it's the first one that I've actually watched as it happened versus just watching replays and clips. But today you're going to get replays and clips. So that's what it's going to be today on the Morning Night Live. That is what it is. Anyway, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, me, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the PDawgKnight Channel. It is Wednesday, the 30th of September. Yes, it's the last day of September, and remember, tomorrow morning when you wake up, the first words out of your mouth should be rabbit, rabbit, if you know that tradition. I don't know where the hell that came from. I had a drama teacher who used to tell us that if you said rabbit, if the first words out of your mouth on the first day of the month was rabbit, rabbit, it would give you good luck. And I always forgot to do it anyway. But anyway, it is Wednesday. There was a debate last night, and it was It was kind of what I expected. I think it's hard for me to say whether or not, well, for me, did the president overplay the I'm going to get Joe Biden rattled thing to a point where he made the debate untenable. Now, of course, the media is beside themselves. They are, oh yes, that's about what it's like. The media is besides themselves. And here's the thing. If Joe Biden had clearly won the debate last night, they would be crowing from the rooftops. They'd be that rooster on top of the bar, somehow got on top of the barn going, arr! that was my best rooster sound. And but they weren't. All they have done is bitch and moan and complain, which tells me that Trump won the debate or controlled the debate or didn't give them anything to cheer about, because Biden basically looked like he looked like a what's the word, how can I put this, a raccoon on a Scranton roadway after a big truck just ran over it. Okay. He didn't look good. The other part, though, is Trump missed a couple opportunities, particularly on a couple of Joe's lies, and also on that BS white supremacist question that Chris Wallace had. One thing I think he did do, though, early on when he told Chris Wallace, "Oh, I didn't know I was debating you too." Well, that's to be expected, and he just won on it. He didn't let it rattle him. Now, if you like Trump, if you really like Trump, you're right now going, "America, fuck yeah!" Oh shit! By the way, I probably just blew my first monetized video. I had a little, you know what? When I set up this video today, it showed me as monetized. Now I gotta see something. Let me see something here. I gotta check something because I haven't even looked yet. Let me open the tab to my stream and see what happens here, because I am curious if, let me see. Hang on, give me a moment. Will it show it to me? I had a little. You know what? Don't want to do that. I need to mute it. Let me see that. Let me see in the chat here. Is there? Oh, new pin chat. Oh, I can pin a chat now. Oh, that's nice. Okay, there's not a little dollar. Is there a dollar sign next to my chat in your chat? I'm curious. Did they activate super chats for me yet? I don't see it. I guess you'll have to look. Hey, but okay, so it's not on mine, but I don't think I can do it on my own anyway. I don't think you can do super chats on your own stream. Okay, here's my. So anyway, yeah. So super chats are still in the PDawgKnight.live section down there anyway, which I prefer anyway. YouTube takes too much of your money, to do super chats, so I don't care anyway. No money button yet. Okay, well, this video is actually I had a little monetization toggle switch, and I just decided to test it, so we'll see what happens at the end of this stream. All right, no worries. Anyway, I don't care. I'd rather you do Streamlabs and ideally when you do Streamlabs, if you can, I would prefer you do the credit card version than the PayPal version. It doesn't change any information I get, but the credit card version takes less money than the PayPal too. So I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. For those who do that, it's not a big deal. Anyway, let's get back to this debate. And I have a whole bunch of stuff bookmarked. And I do have some articles, but I'm going to basically go through my bookmarks because there's a whole lot of interesting stuff that people were saying about this debate. And so I just kept bookmarking stuff over and over. And there's some good points on Twitter and whatnot. But before I do that, let's say good morning. Holy crap, there's already 40 people here. This is awesome. Hello. Let's say good morning to everybody real quick. I'll get through these really fast, and then after we're already almost at the 10-minute mark, so I will try to say hi to people as they come in. But it gets hectic, man. It gets hectic. First of all, first person to the chat today was Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian, and you get the bell. Also, good morning, James Colley, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Richo, my friend from down under. Renee Mayette, good morning. E. Michael, Born Wrong. That's a name I don't remember, but I think you've been here before. I welcome. Also, good morning to Stab and Joe Scarborough, keeping the knife sharp. Jimmy from Philly, Wiped, who says wiped power. Wiped power. Good morning to Ethos, the E Hot. Good morning. I remember that name. Also, good morning, Sheograph, Becca Fairley. Gunfox 61. I'm scrolling here. Also Maddie, who's on the media handle today. Good morning, Maddie. DI Freighter Watcher is in the hizel. Select a boy. Yeah, boy is here. Who else? Good morning, Kaden. Good morning. Now I gotta scroll more. Oh, I'm here too. Good. I'm in the chat. Good morning, Sean DW. Big Slow. What's happening? Truckin' Bear. Dr. No, Smarty Bear. The Bear family's all in the house. Let's see. Dr. No, Truckin' Bear. Got you. Tarai Deos. How you doing? Nice to see you here. Of course. Cynical Lindsay. Zero the Hero. Aaron Meredith. What's happening? Anna Lynn, hello. Now Rando Scrando, that's another name. That's another name that's new to the show. I'm glad you're here. By the way, if you're here and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, click the bell, do all that stuff. Good morning, Ebony Williams. Good morning, Hammond Beans. I'll enunciate. Cracked, Hypnagogic Monk. Oh boy, a whole lot of people here. Holy smokes. I already said Jimmy from Philly. Good. Ginger Power, how you doing? TC Ball. I think I'm getting close to getting everybody now that's in the chat. Jay Wolf, what's happening? Born Wrong, I think I said that already, but I'm saying it again because I'm so glad you're here. I'm usually lurking. Well, lurking is great. You can lurk. You can do it while you're driving. You do it while you're working. Lurking is just fine with me. I hope you enjoy the show. And maybe you do because you're here. By the way, while you're thinking about it, hit a like button if you like what I do. Let's get into the bookmarks. I bookmarked a whole lot of stuff. Oh, by the way, before I do that, yesterday while I was watching the debate, I was on Twitter too, kind of going back and forth. If you're familiar with Helen Reddy, she's a legendary pop star from the 70s. Her big break, good morning, Purple Pill Perspective. Her big song in the 70s was the song I Am Woman, and it kind of became a feminist anthem. But she had a couple other really great hits. Angie Baby's one. What's the one? Now I forgot the one that I could think of. Let's see. What was her other one? She had one that, let's hang on a second here. I'll find it. Where's my Helen Reddy tweet? Well, I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, she had a couple. She had some big hits in the 70s. Popular star. She passed away yesterday. So rest in peace, Helen Reddy. Good morning, Duck Dog. Good morning, Tyler F. Good morning, Don Keedick, Gulf City Biker and Trash Man. Oh my gosh, you have some responsibilities there. Hello. All right, let's do this. Let's get into some of these bookmarks that I. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's going to be kind of random. I might get repetitive, but bear with me. So, couple things during the debate. This is the Green New Deal. Remember that? They started talking about the Green New Deal. And so Joe Biden at some point said that the Green New Deal was not his plan. Joe spent a lot of time distancing himself from a lot of the people that you would expect. No, anticipation. That was Carly Simon. She was also in Pete's Dragon. That's right. She was in Pete's Dragon. Okay, that was Helen Reddy. Anyway, he said something about not that the Green New Deal wasn't his plan. And someone here just happened to point out something from Joe Biden's website. Let's see, what does this say? Take action. Do you agree that we need drastic action to address the climate emergency? As in, we need to find a way to take your money, so this would be a climate emergency. Good morning, Zombie Teddy. And it says right here, from coastal towns to rural farms to urban center, climate change poses an existential threat, not just to our environment, but to our health, our communities, our national security, and our economic well-being. It also damages our communities with storms that wreak havoc on our towns and cities and our homes and schools. It puts our national security at risk by leading to regional instability that will require U.S. military-supported relief activities and could make areas more vulnerable to terrorist activities. But this highlighted part here in dark brown or black, or whatever that color is on the screen that it's printed in, says, Vice President Biden knows there's no greater challenge facing our country and our world. Today, he is outlining a bold plan, a clean energy revolution to address this grave threat and lead the world in addressing the climate emergency. Biden believes the Green New Deal is a crucial framework for meeting the climate challenges we face. Whoa, wait a minute. Didn't Joe Biden say that the Green New Deal is not his plan? This is the Joe Biden website. It powerfully captures two basic truths which are at the core of the plan. The United States urgently needs to embrace greater ambition on an epic scale to meet the scope of this challenge, and two, our environment and economy are completely totally... Look, what's interesting is because they started talking about the Paris Accords last night. And when President Trump... By the way, I do have... Hang on, hold up. I'm sorry. I have to pause for something very important. I do have my cup of reparations coffee in hand. If you have a cup or a drink or whatever the hell you have, we're going to do that. What is that? Scott Adams. I fully admit I'm stealing this from Scott Adams. I am plagiarizing Scott Adams, the great writer of Dilbert. It's time for the simultaneous sip. That's good. All right. Anyway, so Biden says, no, the Green New Deal is not my plan. Well, apparently it is your plan. It's on your website. In fact, Stacy here, or whatever her name is. Hey, Joe Biden, if the Green New Deal is not your plan, you might want to change your website. Either that or you just don't know your own plans, which is more likely. And you really don't lead the Democratic Party. Which is it?
Come on, man.
Hey, that's not an answer, Joe. Okay. Also, Katie Pavlich, bummer Trump missed the opportunity to remind Americans watching that Biden's VT, Kamala Harris, helped raise money to bail rioters who destroyed people's lives for generations out of jail. Yeah, that was another one that I thought he missed. The other, look, there's going to be, here's the biggest one that the media is talking about, because this is the one they want to push. The whole white supremacist thing, right? Trump didn't condemn white supremacists. Now, I've been reading the transcript about that, and what's weird, so here's the transcript, and I'm going to read it from here because but there's something missing in here. It's interesting. Whoever did this transcript left out something. So, Chris Wallace asked the question, or he said, and by the way, Chris Wallace, I'll get into how many times Chris Wallace interrupted the president versus Joe Biden. But again, the president, I don't think the president did himself any favors by constantly interrupting Joe. But it did rattle Joe at points, and he said some things that should have. Chris Wallace says, you have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and now, this is this is the part of the question that I think why Trump couldn't answer it specifically, because Chris Wallace gave him several options here that aren't all the same. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups, and to say they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and we've seen in Portland? Okay. See how that question may require multiple different answers? What? Now, granted, the one young man who was attacked in Kenosha ended up killing, what, 2 people? 1 person? I don't know. He shot some people, right? Killed 2 people. Okay. Now, was that violence initiated by anyone that Chris Wallace is talking about? See, the people in Kenosha, the so-called militia in Kenosha, they didn't add to the violence other than the one kid who defended himself. But who initiated the violence in Kenosha? Same with Portland. Now, yes, and again, they get into the Proud Boys. I'll get into that in a minute. Are they, Evil One, how you doing? How long I'll be here? Well, I will stay as long as you would like. Okay. So first of all, the question can have multiple answers, right? But the main thing that you hear in this question is the first part. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists? That's the only thing anyone heard from that question. Are you willing to condemn white supremacists and militia groups who say they need to stand down, blah, 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 blah? President Trump's answer, sure. At first he just says sure. And then, see, this is where this transcript, it doesn't complete. Because he says sure. In fact, let's just play it. I don't even want to, it's too hard to do it this way. I'll go back to that transcript. But notice there's a complete difference. Now, ABC News.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups?
Sure.
And
now, right there, he says sure right away. Let me put this so you can see it a little easier. Because that transcript, it leaves that out too. Notice. Now see, they've got it on the screen. I'm going to do it again. And it's a question.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups?
Sure.
And to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Now, again, why do we need to condemn the groups that were protecting business in Portland? Is Chris asking him that he should do that? There's a difference. Are you willing to condemn white supremacist groups? Sure. Then he continues with the rest of the question. Okay? But even then, listen to Trump's answer.
Are you prepared to specifically?
Sure, I'm willing to do that. Now, I understand where Trump went here. And a lot of people are saying, oh, he refused to condemn white supremacists. Listen to the rest of this.
But
do it. Well,
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
Yes. And that right now is 100% true. Add to the violence. Oh, so the Antifa, BLM violence, okay. Right? Right, hypnagogic monk? Exactly. Add to the violence. Oh, you mean, so there's already violence and the so-called white supremacists and militia groups are adding to the violence? You're asking them to stand down? It's listen to your question, Chris. Now, let's continue.
What are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Then do what? Do what? You asked a multiple part question. Not everyone there. Not everyone there. What? Stand down on what? Do you want to? Okay, the people protecting the business. Should we stand down and just let it burn down the businesses? Should we just let should we let the violence from one side continue? Now, this is also one of those questions that's been dogging the president since he began. Even since he came down from the big elevator in Trump Tower and announced he's running for president. And he's been asked this question over and over and over. And I'll give you an example of how many times, at least one example that I found here, where he answers this question over and over. He condemns the white supremacists, but not every. Here's the problem. They don't have a definition of white supremacists. So Trump asks them to clarify, which group are you talking about? Because the militia that was protecting buildings in Kenosha, were they white supremacists, Chris? Were they white supremacists, Joe? Yeah, maybe they just didn't want their shit burned down. Just they happen to be white. Oh, that's right. If you're white, you're a white supremacist, according to some people. But let's go back to the more common definition of white supremacists. Those militias or people protecting buildings in Kenosha probably just didn't want their shit burned down. And they get into the Proud Boys. We'll get there in a second.
Do it. Say it.
Say what, Joe? Say what, Joe?
Do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
white like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right Proud Boys.
Oh, now, who? White supremacists and right-wing militias. You're conflating the two. You're conflating the two. Because it's a right-wing militia, are some right-wing militias just basically gun enthusiast club or something? I don't know. Is a so-called right-wing militia automatically white supremacist group? Because they called the people, and again, he mentioned two places. He mentioned Portland and he mentioned Kenosha. Portland, the clashes between the dickheads on the left and I was going to say the dickheads on the right, but I don't even want to call them that because I don't think they are. I understand them. But the Antifa people who just want destruction and their own form of they're to me they're the equivalent to the brown shirts. I'm sorry, they just are, whether that's their ideology or not. They are assholes who use violence to force their ideology upon you, their political ideology, which to them is somewhat anarchist, okay? They're terrorists, in my opinion, okay? But even in Portland, who do the Antifa usually clash with? Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer. Both of Proud Boys and Patriot Prayer are multiracial groups. They're not about white supremacy, but they do believe in American supremacy, that America is a great place. That's what their whole shtick is. And the Patriot Prayer are also happen to just want to express themselves, their freedom of religion, stuff like that. But they've been labeled white supremacists by people who have no idea anything about them. And the only reason I know this is that I've followed this ever since that group actually started becoming an actual group. Before it was just, it started out as a joke by Gavin McInnes and a couple people, and it actually turned into something. But it's not about anything about racial supremacy whatsoever. In fact, the leader of the Proud Boys is an Afro-Cuban person. He's Cuban or Cuban and African descent. Okay. Anyway, so now they made a whole lot about this next line that Prince said. I'm going to go back to where they were. Let's see. Okay, so he says, "Say it."
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him?
What
Give me a name.
group do you want me to ask about? Is what he's asking. Who are these white supremacists that are adding to the existing violence that you seem to think the existing violence is just fine, so you want them to stand down from the existing violence and not add to it? That is your question, Chris.
White supremacists and right supremacists.
And he conflates white supremacists and right-wing militias. Which right-wing militias out there causing violence right now? Be specific, Chris. That's what he's asking.
Supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what.
And now that stand back and stand by line, that's got them all fired up. Stand back and stand by. I don't know if he was wording that correctly. Was he saying, but since the media is all almost in unison calling the Proud Boys a white supremacist group, now he says they're dog whistling the dog whistling white supremacists. But who's the bigger problem right now that no one in the fucking media is willing to talk about? So much for my monetization, right? This one's, I see a little yellow mark on my thing already, or worse yet, it's just going to be gray. It will not be green after this rant. Anyway, my first monetized video since they changed the system 3 or 4 years ago is going to be demonetized. I don't care. They're not going to pay me anything anyway. His question is legitimate here. You know what? Tell me who you're talking about that's adding to this violence, okay? I don't know if he thought it out as much as I am, but that seems to be what he's saying here. Good morning, Ryan himself. How you doing? It's ridiculous. But anyway, I can explain it. Hey, thank you for the first super chat of the day, and the superstar donor of the day is Glass Joe Biden, who says, with the $2, says, "Hey, I'm Glass Joe Biden, and I don't know where my applesauce is." Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you, Glass Joe Biden. I appreciate your support. If you'd like to do super chats, you can look right there in the chat box, and it has links to my Streamlabs place where you can do super chats. You'll be a permanent part of the show of this episode of the Morning Night Live. Anyway, so yeah, he's asking, okay, yeah, but you're just being very general. What white supremacy? It's like if he said, "Do you condemn black supremacists?" Well, who are you talking about? Give me a specific example that I can condemn, and I'll condemn them. You're just being very general. Yes, white supremacists are bad. What else do you want me to say?
Tell you what, somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a
left. If you look around the country right now, and you want to ask, you ask the average person around the United States right now, average person, I got a question for you. As you look around the country, you look at the news, and you look at what's happening in our cities around the country. If you watched on the internet, you've watched on the news, you watched on CNN. Well, you didn't see it on CNN because they don't show it, and unless it's someone saying with a burning building behind them, "Oh, this is just fine." Anyway, as you look around the country, average person, who's causing violence right now in our cities? Do you think the first thing that that's going to pop out of their mouth is white supremacists? You know, the other day when the president said that he was going to declare Antifa and the KKK as terrorist groups, I'm like, oh, fantastic because Antifa is causing shit all. Wait, the KKK? Do they even still exist? Do they have a presence anywhere in this country right now? What was the last big KKK? I mean, and I mean more than 9 people KKK rally you've seen in this country lately. Except for even the dickheads in Charlottesville. The little polo shirt wearing pussies with their Jews will not replace this bullshit. I mean, that's like Richard Spencer, right? If let's say you say, okay, you're going to put out a call, right? You're going to put out 2 calls. The Antifa is going to put out a call. We're going to say, hey, Antifa, every city in the United States this weekend, we're going to have massive Antifa rallies. Antifa and Black Lives Matter, right? Thousands and thousands of people would fill the streets. As soon as it got dark, then all shit would fall apart, right? The riots and destruction and shit, whatever, right? If Richard Spencer did the same thing, hey, all you alt-right, fuckers go in every city in America. Okay, I got a better idea. Let's just do it in New Jersey because we don't really have that many. In fact, we'll have it at the Hoboken Hojos in the conference room that might hold 200 people, and I may be able to fill half of it. That's what I think of the fucking KKK. They ain't doing shit. But I'll tell you what, if there's a burning building in a city or in a forest in the United States right now, guess who said it? Antifa. Don't know you, PDawg. They are behind all the bad things that happen right. Yeah, Hello, Sure Shaggy and Merle Davis. How you doing? The KKK sold their compound in Idaho back in the 90s. Yeah, fuck the Klan. And if the ones who are still around, fuck them. Who cares? They don't do shit. And nobody's listening to them. There is no professor in a university spouting their bullshit, but I guarantee you in every university in America, there's some asshole left-wing commie bastard doing the same shit saying the same shit that Antifa says. Where do you think these assholes come from? They come from they were in some professor's class who thinks he's a revolutionary, and he churns out these little sycophants who think communism is great. Oh, really? Tell the people from Cuba who escaped from communism. Tell the people from the former Soviet Union who escaped from communism. Tell you people from China who escaped from communism how great fucking communism is, or socialism. Oh, no, we're social democrats. Bernie's a commie. Come on. There is no communism until a country gets successful and someone says, oh, well, somebody has more than you. Oh, someone has their, fuck, I'm not even going to say that. Good morning, Gabriel Feline. What's up? My dog was not sued this morning, and he was not letting the Doberman near me. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, holy shit. Let's finish this little clip and we're going to move on.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, snap. Really? Antifa is an idea, not an organization. Well, the same fuckers come out every night in Portland for the last 120 days. And somebody rented that van in Louisville after the Breonna Taylor non-verdict, non-whatever prosecution thing that happened. Really? If they're not an organization, not an idea, who paid for the van? I'm just curious. I heard one of Jack's employees was driving that van. You know Jack. Everyone knows Jack. Jackass. Anyway.
Got it.
Not malicious. That's what his FBI, FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next.
Oh, yeah, and then Chris just moves on because he got the soundbite he wanted. All right, let's move on from this. I'll probably get to a little more of this in a minute, but anyway, let's go back to some of the other clips we did. There were a lot of interesting movement. Of course, Wolf Blitzer says, clearly, this was the most chaotic presidential debate I've ever seen. Jake Tapper, that was the worst debate I've ever seen. who was it? One of the commentators on CNN described it as, quote, a shit show. Hot mess inside a dumpster fire. CNN offers bleak assessment of first Trump-Biden debate. You know why? Because Biden did not win the debate, and they're not happy about it. Just saying. Hello, Jim Beam. What's happening? What's up? CNN's political commentators did not mince words about the presidential debate between President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. Clearly, this was the most chaotic presidential debate I have ever seen. CNN anchor Wolf Blitzer said immediately following the debate Tuesday night, I suspect most of you, if not all, have ever seen the most chaotic presidential debate. It was clearly it will certainly raising a lot of questions about the future of the presidential debate between these two candidates. I would not be surprised, by the way, if this is the last presidential debate between the President of the United States and the former Vice President of the United States. Yeah, because Joe can't win. It's interesting. The Biden campaign last night put out a statement that they are absolutely ready to go to the next debate. Yada, yada, yada. Bullshit. Bull flipping Shiite Batman. Moving on, Jake Tapper, who anchored the network's coverage after the debate and is the moderator of the State of the Union, called the whole performance a hot mess inside a dumpster fire inside a train wreck. He says that was the worst debate I have ever seen. It wasn't even a debate. It was a disgrace. It's primarily because of President Trump. Yes, it's Trump's fault, but in a way, Trump kind of derailed it with all his interruptions, but I don't give a fuck. It wasn't even a debate. It was a disgrace. It is primarily because of President Trump, who spent the entire time interrupting, not abiding by the rules he agreed to, lying, maliciously attacking the son of the vice president. And is that not an issue that as vice president kind of pulled in a few chits in favor of his son, and the son becomes a millionaire because the guy who kicked out of the military for drug abuse. Anyway, and Jada, here it is. Let's listen to it.
A lot of the Biden supporters were going into this debate fairly nervous. The former vice president clearly showed up. Jake, a lot to analyze.
The vice president clearly showed up. Yeah, he showed up. He was there, and whatever.
Wolf, that was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire inside a train wreck.
Jake was hoping for a clear Biden win. Jake has been very transparent in his support of Joe Biden and his disdain for President Trump, which is fine. I don't care if he has disdain for President Trump. That's fine. It's challenged to be a news person when you have a clear bias, but that's how it is on CNN because Jeffrey Zucker, is that his name? Zucker, the guy who runs the CNN news area. I know it's owned by Bezos owns the Washington Post. Zucker clearly is he has an agenda for CNN trying to make them anti-Trump, which is fine. I don't care. That's their choice. They just pretend that this is CNN and we play it right down the middle. Bullshit. Anyway.
Worst debate I have ever seen. In fact, it wasn't even a debate. It was a disgrace. And it's primarily because of President Trump, who spent the entire time interrupting, not abiding by the rules that he agreed to, lying.
I'm going to say it's going to be interesting to see what they say are lies, by the way. And if you're going to count those lies, you also have to count the lies that Joe Biden told. He told the same very fine people lie again. There are several things, but we'll get to that.
Maliciously attacking the son of the vice president.
Should it be an issue? that your family, and because people accuse Trump's family of out there just there. He's president so he can grift, right? He's president so he can make money. Well, we have a pretty good example of how Biden's family has been profiting off of Joe Biden's political career for the entire 50 years he's been in politics. His brother, his son, the son, excuse the phrase, but the black sheep of the family, we can't use that term anymore. Anyway, the shit show of the family, energy companies. He doesn't know anything about energy. In Ukraine, he doesn't know anything about Ukraine or the language. China, where he gets his new company gets billions of dollars investments, and he gets a $3.5 million check from the wife of the mayor of Moscow, who, by the way, the mayor of Moscow is certainly a Putin ally. He just fell in. If you know what, it wouldn't have mattered if Joe Biden were in politics. If Joe Biden was just some guy who worked in a coal mine in Pennsylvania, certainly the brilliance of Hunter Biden would have gotten him all these fantastic deals he got from these countries, because regardless of Joe Biden, because Hunter is a go-getter, he is a very clean-cut young man who's never had any problems in his life. He had a brilliant career in the military, and he also has a brilliant mind, and he's a financial wizard who could bring in billion-dollar deals from China and, millions of dollars. He could be a CEO on a fucking energy company in Ukraine because he speaks fluent, whatever language they speak in Ukraine, Russian, I guess. And it wouldn't have mattered because Joe could have been a coal miner and Hunter Biden would have been just as successful as he is now, and he wouldn't have a illegitimate child with a stripper in Arkansas. Yeah. 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 Okay.
When asked to condemn white supremacists, he brought up the name of a neo-fascist far-right group.
Oh, are the Proud Boys neo-fascists now? It's interesting. But look, okay, here's the thing. People on the left do believe that. They because they're anti-Antifa, who, of course, Antifa, it stands for anti-fascist. And shouldn't we all be against fascists and use fascist tactics while being anti-fascist, and beat people in the streets while being anti-fascist, and burn down people's property while being anti-fascist, and throw bottles at the police while being anti-fascist, and beating up anyone and killing that Trump supporter that you just, oh yes, there's a Trump supporter, let's just shoot him. Yes, they are. But you know what? Guess what? The Proud Boys are the neo-fascist right-wing group, right? And yes, saying, when you condemn white supremacy, and he says, sure, that's the first, immediately out of his mouth, sure. Yes, that is supporting white supremacy. But let's go on, Jake. Let's hear what the rest of what you got to say here.
Said, stand back and stand by. We'll talk about who won the debate, who lost the debate, but I can tell you.
Pause. Thank you, Kingslayer Damocles. What the 556? If Trump would have said, white supremacy is an idea, not an organization, do you think the left would accept that? Oh my God. Oh, I might have to steal that from you. Well, if you see me tweet that today, I will credit you because I'm going to tweet that today. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you get a second round of applause for that. That was so good. I would, if I had all the congratulatory things I could do on that is fantastic. Thank you, Kingslayer Damocles. Damn. In fact, I'm going to credit you right now. I'm tweeting that. This is real time. I'm tweeting this shit. What's the word? If Trump would have said white supremacy. Oops, let me spell that right. See, that's why you have spell check or type check, it should be called, because I don't type that well. is an idea, not an organization. Do you think the left would accept that? Kingslayer Damocles. How do you spell that? Damocles. I'm giving you credit too, because that is hilarious. That is hilarious. From the show this morning in real time. Ding! Thank you, sir, for the 556 too. Super chat links in the chat, in the chat. All right. Yeah, hell no, they wouldn't have accepted that. That's a great question though. Anyway, so now someone says this is the best part of the debate that they're not talking about. See, there's a whole bunch of parts of the debate that you won't hear the media say boo about, except maybe, Fox News and OAN, although Fox News is it depends on who you're talking to at Fox News. But here's a part of the debate that was interesting. Here, let's blow this one up because this was worth a look. Let's put this on the screen correctly. Hello. There we go. All right. Let's see if anyone talks about this.
The different people. There was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won. From the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition. As far as the ballots are concerned, it's the different people. There was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won. From the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition.
All right. Anyway, stop. He's already dead. He's already dead, sir. Yeah, that, you know what? The more it comes out, it's interesting because you're getting they're leaking stuff and whatnot. It is damn well no one in the media is going to talk about. They're going to call that lies. That's what they call lies, right? Yeah, Glass Joe. That's what they call lies. When the evidence there, the notes in the declassified documents is there. And if people who don't follow it have no idea what the president's talking about, but it is definitely all there. Now let's see. Now it's funny because this is the Trump War Room puts out here. Yes, he did. Said 2 times he's willing to condemn white supremacist and malicious groups. But again, like King Damocles said, the idea or the groups, give me Trump asked for an example. Who are you talking about specifically? And what are they doing that I need to condemn? Okay, sure, you can generally condemn white supremacists, but who are you calling white supremacists? Remember, these are the same people who call Donald Trump a white supremacist. These are the same people who call all Republicans white supremacists. These are the same people who will call, some church groups white supremacists. These are the same people who call, just your average Joe person who voted for Obama in 2008 and 2012 who voted for Trump in 2016, you're a white supremacist now. So when you say, well, you condemn white supremacists, of course, Chris was more specific. White supremacists and militia groups who are adding to the violence that was already there. Well, give me an example who you're talking about, who these white supremacists and militia groups that are adding to the violence, which ones were you talking about? That I if you can give me an example, I will gladly condemn them. But he's continued, there's all the violence I see right now is coming from the left. Now, notice they never mention BLM. And I'm talking about BLM, the organization, not BLM, the idea. Okay. But BLM and Antifa are the ones who are causing most of the violence in the country right now. I don't see huge groups of white supremacists out in the streets protesting and burning down people's coffee shops and burning down Walgreens and looting Target and looting the Nike store. I don't see a bunch of white supremacists doing that right now, and I don't think any Americans could point to that right now. Was there one guy in some city that shot a cop that they found a way to tie him to some right-wing group? Yes. Now let's talk about the other 70 or 80 people who've died in protests and been killed in the streets because of the BLM protest. Excuse me, not the BLM protest, the riots that happened after the BLM protest and the riots that happened after Antifa spends the day in the daylight where they can be seen being good boys, but at night they start tearing shit up and burning people out and yelling people in their personal homes and threatening people and beating people and killing people in their Chaz and their CHOP and their little autonomous zone in Minneapolis that we have now. And extorting people and intimidating people and using terrorist tactics to get their little, whatever their little fucking message is across. I'm sorry. Did I go on a rant? It happens. Now, under this thread, because there's also another clip I wanted to show you that I know was under this thread, because the Trump War Room says, he says 2 times he's willing to condemn whites. It's sure, and then sure, I'm willing to do that. We saw that, but I still think this was a little bit of a lost opportunity for Trump, and that he should have been prepared for this question because he a little better. Because when Wallace asked that question, he did turn it to, well, who's the, I condemn any white supremacist group if you can tell me who they are, okay? But all the violence is happening from this other group that you don't want to talk about. You want to ask me about this. I've done this so many times, but it's one of those questions that that you think you're going to get a soundbite out of. Yes, I condemn the concept of white supremacy. Yes, I could. What do you think? Why do you think we just declared the Ku Klux Klan as a terrorist group? He could have used that too. Of course, I condemn white supremacists, but not everybody you call white supremacists are white supremacists. That would have been the best answer he could have given. Then he could have went in, look, all the violence we see right now is coming from the other side. The people that his vice presidential candidate is encouraging people to give funds to bail them out of jail after they destroy things. Because the peaceful protesters aren't the ones getting arrested. So the bail fund that Minnesota something, whatever fund they called it, that you're donating to help people pay their bail to get out of jail, you're not paying to get people who were peaceful protesters out of jail because the peaceful protesters aren't in jail. These are peaceful protesters. They're going to jail. No! The police aren't arresting the peaceful protesters. They're arresting the assholes who destroy things or hurt people or just come to fuck shit up or attack the police. That's who's getting arrested. That's who your running mate, thank you, Minnesota Freedom Fund. That's who your running mate is encouraging people to give money to pay their bail. You want to explain that, Joe? Do you want to explain that? Because that's what I want to know. Now, Joe, hey, tell me which white supremacists are causing havoc in the United States at this moment over these last 120 days. And I'll condemn them too, if you can name anybody. Kyle Rittenhouse? You want me to condemn Kyle Rittenhouse? Well, sorry, dude. Oh, I said that name. That's the name you can't say. Hello, Lexi Mads. You want me to condemn Kyle? I'm not going to condemn Kyle Rittenhouse until we get an answer to what actually happened there. From what I see and from the video that's online, that's clear as day, it seems that Kyle Rittenhouse was defending himself. So no, I'm not going to condemn him yet. Now, if there's a jury, there's some new evidence that tells me that he was a white supremacist that, as you described, then maybe. But even if he was, in that particular case, in that particular film, by the way, there is no evidence of that. On that particular video, that there's all different sides of angles, and even the New York Times said that he was defending himself. The person from the New York Times on the scene compiled a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of video that it's obvious to see that this kid was defending himself. I know I'm not going to condemn him. Am I going to condemn militias? The so-called militias that were protecting the buildings in Kenosha? Because you mentioned Kenosha, Quish Wallace. You said Kenosha. How did the militias in Kenosha add to the violence? They didn't. The violence was already being done by, wait for it. Now, I was going to say Black Lives Matter and Antifa. I don't know. Assholes who are taking advantage of a situation so they can burn shit down and steal shit. Okay? Okay? Huh? Answer me that. All right, so now there's people here. Okay, here's a good example of how President Trump has done this numerous times over the years. Here's 7 examples. Let's see if this video. Hang on. Yeah, it's only a minute 18. We're going to put it on here and do YouTube style. All right. Nope. Hang on. Give me a moment. Still loading. All right, here we go.
He doesn't deny them.
He doesn't deny them. Did you hear the question? I know it was hard to hear because I can't turn it up. I don't know if can I turn this up? That's as loud as it'll go. Did you look at the question? I'll put it on the screen because they wrote it. Do you believe the president really supports the Ku Klux Klan? What the hell kind of question is that? Give me some evidence that the president of the United States supports the Ku Klux Klan. But anyway, what a stupid fucking question. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to play it again.
He doesn't deny them.
Oh, he doesn't.
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke.
When you say the party is self-destructing, what do you see as the biggest problem with the Reform Party right now?
Well, you've got David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem. I mean, this is not exactly the people you want in your party.
So are you prepared right now to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists? Of course I am.
Times do I have to reach
Oh,
out?
wait a minute. When George asked him that question, look who they have in the background here. Listen to the question while they show this as the graphic.
Equivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists.
Oh, are you talking about the people that hold these Trump signs? I sure hope not, George. That's pretty fucking dirty.
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Times do I have to reject? I've rejected David Duke. I've rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. The neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Wait a minute.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy.
Okay, so it's this is not new, people. It's not new, but you know what? It's because they want to tie him to that. What video is that? Oh, here I can. What did I do with it? I have it. Oh, I had it. Did I close it? I must have closed it. Here, I'll send the. Here, let's do this again. I'll send the link to it. Let's pause this. Pause. And just gotta wait for this to pop up. Hang on.
He doesn't deny them.
Here, I'll put a link. Here's the link to that video if you want to use it later. I need new batteries on my mouse. It keeps slowing down. Here we go. There you go. There's a link to that video I just played for those who asked. And then let's see, what's this one? This is another one too. This is he's done it more than once. I don't know. And you know what? Again, I get tired. I gotta tell you, I get tired of defending Trump. Remember, I'm not a Trump guy. I agree with his policies. I did not vote for him in 2016. I am going to vote for him in 2020, not because you're never going to see me in a MAGA hat. You're never going to see me in a MAGA shirt. MAGA is not my brand. Do I agree with the policies? Do I agree with the things that he's accomplished? Do I agree with the foreign policy achievements? Do I agree with the philosophy as far as how America should work versus how the Democrats think America should work? I'm still over here. Well, for you guys, the right's over there. Okay? That's where I am. And thank you, Jimmy from Philly. How you doing? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Who says, by the way, well, first of all, thank you, Jimmy from Philly, who gave me 2 ice creams, or 1 good Cold Stone. I might do a Cold Stone with that one. Thank you, Jimmy from Philly. I appreciate the support. Also, I forgot to yell, Kingslayer Damocles is now the superstar donor of the day. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all of you guys do super chats as you can. I know it's still, some of you are still dealing with the COVID shutdown stuff, so any donations are greatly appreciated. I know how shit goes. I do really appreciate that. Plus, just a reminder, any donations I'm getting this week are going to the memorial for my father who passed away on Sunday. So if you didn't watch Monday's show, just about the story that my story, it's pretty unique. It's interesting. A lot of you enjoyed it. And a lot of people who didn't see it, I hope you take a look at that. It was actually a tough show to do, and I got through it pretty well. But I have a very unique adoption story, and fortunately for me, not everyone's adoption stories work out. Mine has. Mine has worked out fantastic for me, and I'm very fortunate because I realized too, because I've gone on adoption forums and talked to different people, and some people have very difficult time when it comes to either their adoption itself or especially learning about or reuniting with birth parents. I am one of those fortunate people who the experience was wonderful, and And although I really only got to know my dad over the phone for the most part, I've only seen him in person twice. My father. My dad is my dad. My father is the person who created me. I did get to know him over the last 15 years, mostly over the phone. And he was a good man, and I really came to love the man, and I will miss him. So anyway, we'll just keep going here. But as far as this president, you know what? I'm glad that he's destroying some norms. I'm glad that he's exposing some of the just dirty shit that our government does, and the dirty shit they tried to do to him, because he's an outsider. And guess what? So you see these ex-Republicans, or not Republicans, they say they're conservative, they say they're Republicans, that's trying to save the party, but they turn themselves into shit like the Lincoln Project and shit like that. You know, those guys, the Bill Kristol's, and what's George Conway, and all these assholes, David Frum, who, they're conservatives. All the former Bush people who are now going to vote for Joe Biden, because all those fuckers are in the same game. Even though they're supposedly different parties, they're all the same corporate bullshit people. And I think Trump is exposing that. And I like I said, I say it all the time. I think Trump's a jackass. But that's not a bug. That's a feature. You know, look, let me just be honest here. And even if you're a Trump person, let's be honest. The Democrats know Trump's a jackass. Okay? The independents know Trump's a jackass. Trump's supporters know he's a jackass. And in fact, President Trump knows he's a jackass. It's a feature. It's real. And sometimes you got to be a jackass when all you deal with in the entire United States government are jackasses. Nancy Pelosi's a jackass. Gerald Nadler is a jackass. Chuck Schumer is a jackass. And all those deep state fuckers who were investigating Donald Trump and were finding out that they cut some corners and changed some dots and something on the T's and put umlauts on over the A's and shit like that, they're all jackasses, and it takes a jackass to clean those fuckers out. I don't care that Trump's a jackass. It's a feature, not a bug. I've said it again. I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to name one of my streams, Donald Trump is a jackass. And I'll bet you all the people who look at it, I'll get a lot of thumbs down just because of the name. But when I explain it, hopefully, if you're a Trump person, answer me this. When I explain it like that, do you get where I'm coming from? Just curious. Jackass is not illegal. Some of my best friends are assholes. I'm a bit of an asshole. Right. Yes, he's a jackass. He proved it last night, and I'm okay with that, because he certainly gets some. He certainly got the best of Joe Biden by being a jackass. Now, do I think he took it a little too far? Yeah, sometimes. I think he should have just let Biden talk and hang himself, because Biden said some stupid shit last night. Like when he was denying I'm the Democratic Party now. Oh yeah, I could have sworn I saw that little the Green New Deal thing on your website. Oh, I'm the Democratic Party now. I don't support the Green New Deal. But then he went on to explain how the Green New Deal would be great for America, but I don't support. I mean, literally, one sense he's talking about how great the New Deal would be and how much money it'd save America and this and that and how it would help the economy. And then 2 seconds later, he said, I don't support the Green New Deal. Which is it, Joe? I'm just curious. Anybody know what the hell that meant, Joe? And Biden did about that transcript. I said there was something missing in the transcript. I want to show you this again because the reason the Proud Boys came up is because Biden interjected it during that. And I was looking at this transcript because I pulled this transcript up, and right here it says, okay, so after Chris asked him the stupid question, he said, "Sure, I'm willing to do that." Now this transcript didn't even put the first "sure" in there. Okay, he said "sure" while Chris was but are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups? And Trump immediately said "sure," and then he finished the question saying that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland. Sure, I'm willing to do that, which they got that the way they said wrong. Are you prepared specifically to do it? Now, and then I would say almost everything as I see is the left wing, not from the right, blah, blah, blah. What are you saying? I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace. Well, do it, sure. And then Joe Biden says, say it, do it, say it. And what would you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a name. Go ahead. Who do you want me to condemn? Now, as Chris Wallace is saying, white supremacists and right-wing militia, which are not necessarily the same thing. Joe Biden also said right there, he said, the Proud Boys. That is where the Proud Boys thing came up. So I'm looking at this, and it said, did they put the clip in here? Listen to this. I think this has it in there. No, they cut it off. See, now they cut it off, and I don't think they needed to cut this off at that very specific thing. But here it is. Is this the longer answer?
Would you like me to condemn Proud Boys?
There it is. Listen.
Do it. Say it. Do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would you like me to condemn? Proud Boys.
Right in there. Now, why did they leave that off the transcript up here? I don't understand that. You hear Biden saying the Proud Boys. Now this is another clip where they are only showing Trump instead of the split screen. But yeah, he said Biden said the Proud Boys. That's how that came up. And this guy Chukwu Chidozie Paul, that's an Igbo name. My brother Nadozie, that's the same. Chukwu means God, by the way. I support President Trump, but he's shameful as the father and leader of the greatest country in the world. He couldn't boldly and honestly make a definitive, assertive statement, especially when it mattered most. I heard him say it twice. Proud Boys, stand back, stand by. Yeah, a lot of people are quoting just this. But I'll tell you what, somebody has to do something about Antifa and the left. This is not a right-wing problem. This is left-wing. And then they describe it as Donald Trump telling his armed gangs to stand by just in case he wants to. Okay, let me also dispel something here too. Kind of like, even if you were going to say that the Proud Boys was what they say they are, this white supremacist, whatever, militia right-wing group, right? PDawg Trump is a troll, not a jackass. Okay. Whatever you want to call it. I'm using it in a terminology that more people understand, and I don't care. I think he knows that he is a jackass, and what I mean by jackass is just someone who's just gonna say what they're gonna say and don't give a fuck about what you think about it. And I think you got my point though. Okay, so how many Proud Boys are there in the country? Is this some nationwide giant group? Out of curiosity, the Proud Boys. Really, the only place I see the Proud Boys really anywhere is the same group of like 50, 60 people. Maybe there's more. I've seen them in New York because they had this thing in New York where there's like 40 or 50 of them. Or maybe if there's 100, I'd be shocked. And then they show up in Portland because that's where most of them live, because they live the Seattle and or Portland areas. That's all. I don't know of a Proud Boy chapter in Omaha. I haven't seen a Proud Boy group pop up in San Antonio. Haven't seen a Proud Boy group show up in Detroit. I don't see a Proud Boy group in Chicago. I don't see a Proud Boy group in Fort Lauderdale. But I guarantee in every one of those cities, there's some Antifa assholes ready to tear shit up. Because they're funded. They are, and whether you want to call them a group or not, they're just an idea. Really? They're pretty damn organized for just being an idea. What the fuck are you talking about, Joe? Where do they all get the matching shields from? And why do they have a uniform? It's pretty obvious who the Antifa people are. If you go to any of these protests, they seem to have a pretty similar uniform in every city where you see them. Give me a break.
Come on, man.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, I really wanted to, let's see, did they put it here? No, it's not. Anyway, let me just go through this thread. I wasn't going to talk only about the debate today, but hey, the rants are flowing, so what the hell? Let's see, asked by debate. Oh, God, this is that. How convenient. And this one, this is someone, ABC News. Now, this is how the media always plays it, though. They're going to play it as though that was the only thing he said during this entire freaking debate. So ABC News says, asked by debate moderator Chris Wallace to condemn white supremacists and militia groups, President Trump replies, sure, I'm willing to do that. Then do it, sir. Now, here's what they...
do it.
Here's
Go ahead. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
And again, adding to the violence in Kenosha. That's hilarious. Whoever made that point about, they're talking about adding to the violence, was that King? Who was that? It was in the chat. Whoever said that, that was very astute. Yeah. Oh, the group's adding to the violence. Oh, Chris, you mean there's already violence that they are adding to? Huh. Now, who's committing the violence that they are adding to? Huh? Oh, you mean they're adding to violence that already exists?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing to do
specifically
that,
do it? Well, go ahead.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing,
it's
not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would you like me to condemn?
Proud Boys.
Proud Boys. Yeah, he's talking to, and that Proud Boys thing. Who's he answering right now? Notice who he's answering. He's not answering Chris Wallace. Look where he looks when he hears Joe Biden say Proud Boys.
What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who's he answering?
Proud Boys. And Proud Boys.
He turns to Joe Biden, the Proud Boys.
Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing.
director.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So anyway, and of course, the Washington Post lead is President Trump refused to condemn white supremacists and armed militia members Tuesday during a bellicose debate in which racism emerged as one of the most contentious issues. But of course, it's the Washington Post, so their headline is going to be Donald Trump refused to condemn white supremacy because he's a racist. That's the Washington Post job. That's what Jeff Bezos pays them to do. And of course, Ron Fournier, who I used to respect Ron Fournier, but I don't anymore. Why did Chris Wallace lie about critical race theory? Oh, we'll do this one. If I get to an article, that's the one I'm going to read. Yeah, they talked about the critical. Also that lie about Joe Biden. So Chris Wallace made it sound like, you're banning racial sensitivity training. Wait. Hold up. Critical race theory is racial sensitivity training. We'll get into that in a minute. Let me move on. Yeah, this clip is good, though.
They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country, and we've caught them.
All right, we busted him. We got that one already. Angela Stanton King, BLM and Antifa burned down and destroyed black communities across the nation, and Chris Wallace wants the Proud Boys condemned for it. She's running for Congress in Georgia. Wait, why does she have this? Is this her? Oh, that is her. Okay, yeah, it's interesting. If you don't know anything about Angela Stanton King, she's an ex-felon, and now she's running for Congress. And I can't remember which district. I think it might be, is it in, what's his name's district? But anyway, she was homeless. She's gone through a lot, and she's running for Congress. So, more power to her. I don't agree with everything she does, but I think she's all right. Now it's funny because Chidike Okeem was kind of live tweeting the debate, and I found a couple, and you could tell where he is in the debate by what he says. If this exchange regarding Amy Coney Barrett is evidence of how this debate is going to go, it's going to be a long night for Joe Biden. He continues, Trump is clearly getting under Biden's skin. Oh dear. Biden hasn't been effective at all thus far. Trump is all over him. This is not good. And oh, by the way, I'm not sure. I think Chidike came. I think he somewhat supports Trump. He used to. I don't know if he does anymore. Joe Biden's remark about injecting bleach in the arm was the most rhetorically effective moment so far, even though it was a lie. Nobody, Chris Wallace, none of the fact checkers seem to be asking about that lie, because that lie, that myth, because the lie's been repeated so many times, there are people who actually believe it. It is a lie.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Trump is dragging Biden. My God, he's calling him an ignoramus, and Biden is letting him do it. Are you kidding me? I can't remember. No, I don't remember if that's this. If I'm not, I need to look up. Cynical Lindsay, I'm answering your question. Angela Stanton King. She asked if she was in jail for a nonviolent drug offense that Trump pardoned her. That's not the same woman. I got to actually look up her story again. I can't remember off the top of my head. He continues, Biden thinks timidly smiling while Trump is verbally assaulting his entire existence makes him look presidential. Whoever prepped Biden for this debate should be fired. This is a disgrace. Kamala would be utterly destroying Trump if she were on the stage. Biden just doesn't have the tools to prosecute the case against Trump. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting watching Kamala and Mike Pence debate, because whatever you think of Mike Pence, he might be the most unflappable human on the planet. I mean, he has naturally produced Valium in his veins. He doesn't give nothing. Nothing around. He just smiles and looks at you and go, whatever, here's what it is. Then he says, Trump is going after Biden's son. Oh my God, Trump won't take his foot off of Biden's neck. Trump mentions 1994 crime bill. Oh my God, Trump came ready for war. Yeah, anyone mentioning the 1994 crime bill? Oh, Trump or Joe Biden. I put these black people in jail. Trump. I got these people out of jail because of your stupid ass 1994 crime bill. Woo! The way Trump switched from Bo to Hunter was absolutely masterful. Yeah, because Biden was trying to get some Bo Biden violin points, and Trump twisted it right back to Hunter, the other son, the one who got kicked out of the military for drug abuse, the one who has these questionable deals with several foreign countries that he doesn't speak the language and whatnot. Trump completely took the wind out of what was going to be Biden's most effective rhetorical moment. Biden was talking passively about the military and Bo, but Trump just shut him down and took it back to Hunter. Yes, he did. He says, I'm interested in seeing what the pundits have to say about this. The fact of the matter is Trump humiliated Biden and smashed him to pieces. Again, Biden needs to fire his debate prep team or call in sick for the next 2 debates. He probably will. I bet it'll be COVID. The pundits are calling Trump's performance disgraceful. They are saying that because he clearly won. Hillary Clinton did a much better job against Trump in 2016. Biden was so ineffective, and none of the pundits are saying it. Why is nobody talking about Biden's performance? The pundits can't bring themselves to say he did poorly and Trump won. If Hillary did this poorly against Trump in a debate, I promise you the pundits would mention it. Trump, it's obvious that most people are utterly incapable of dispassionately addressing the political debate performances. Donald Trump being a terrible person who winks at white supremacists was true in 2016 when he was elected. Why do pundits think highlighting that same fact is the key to defeating him in 2020? Focus on making Biden do better. Biden did a terrible job. I haven't seen a single pundit point that out. Biden needs better people prepping people around him, not yes men who will tell him he won the debate because Trump was a big meanie. Very astute. It seems like Chideke Akeem is leaning towards Biden this year, but he sees the truth. Okay, so lots of other. Axios also lied here. Listen to this. Listen to how Axios puts this in a tweet versus how it actually happened. And we've all heard how it actually happened. Chris Wallace, are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say they need to stand down? They put this in quotes, and then they put this in quotes. After that question, Axios puts this in quotes. And this is your American media right now. Proud Boys stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what, something's got to do something about Antifa on the left. Wow, is that the answer? Is that they make this look like it's a transcript? Is that what happened? Hell no. And finally, and this is interesting. Now, I think this is not true. I think I am convinced that this is a wrinkle in his shirt, but here is something interesting that somebody put this. Jay Wolf, in fact, I think you had this if you're here, Jay. I'm not sure. I think this is just a wrinkle in his shirt, but here's what the tweet says. 37 minutes into the presidential debates, Sniffin' Joe reaches into his suit coat to adjust the volume and exposes his wire for 6 seconds. Now, I'm not buying this. This is one of those things that if you look at it, it may look like that somehow, but I think it's just a wrinkle in a shirt. Also, I just think they would have adjust his wire for what? Okay. He didn't adjust wire, but a lot of people like to put these out.
Going to open up on November 9th. Why November 9th? Because it's after the election.
So, because if you look on this side on the right, the left side of his shirt to your right, there's also a bump that looks like this. But look, here he says,
they can wash their hands, they can wear masks, they can do whatever they want, but they got to open these states up. When you look at
that's not a wire. That's just a wrinkle in his shirt. I can't believe that's a wire. Because there's one on the other side. There's a wrinkle right here that looks like the same. So I'm not buying it. Don't. I'm not. That's very questionable. That's just a thing. All right, guys. It's almost time for me to go. I'm going to hang on for a couple of minutes here, though. First, thanks everybody who's here and who's been, especially Jimmy and Philly, Kingslayer, Damocles, and Glass Joe Biden for the super chats today. Also, I want to just quick look through my notifications. I got a ton of them while I was doing this. Thank you. Follow me on Twitter, Evil1. Okay, someone's doing a 7 interest. I'll get to that one. And thanks to those. Speaking of violence, a friend made this. Here, let's check this out. How long is this? How long is this video? Oh, we'll finish with this. Thank you. Thank you, Lexi Mads. I'm going to play your video, okay? Check your email for a Discord link. I will do that too. I have a question. Gunfox. I'll ask you after the show. I do have a question because I have a Discord. Not Discord. I have a Discord ID. I suppose there's different. I don't know how Discord works, so you're gonna have to teach me. All right, let's do this. We're gonna finish with this video from Lexi Mads. Just as a couple. It's just a minute or so long, and let me click the YouTube version so you get the full screen effect. And here we go. Let's see if the mute's on when it comes on. Speaking of violence, Lexi says. Oh, heroic Nico. Nico, I didn't even see you come in. Good morning. Oh, what the hell? Right. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna start it over. Let it fill first so it doesn't keep pausing. All right, that should work.
These was black-owned businesses, and you came down here and you destroyed it.
The DA calling the protesters who destroyed government property domestic terrorists.
100 days of unrest.
That's violent. They stick up for the violence. The people that are getting hurt, they don't care about. They don't care about these people.
But it's time to listen to those words.
Authorities say this was so well coordinated.
One person wearing a Patriot prayer hat was shot and killed in Portland.
Tough luck. Don't be a Trump supporter in Portland.
2 police officers have been shot tonight.
These are acts of domestic terror.
Fuck the police! He tried to kill them because they were cops.
You need to guard your country and your society, or it will be destroyed.
All right, so thank you, Lexi, for providing that one. That's how I'll finish the show today. Hey, people, the Morning Night Live is here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 1500 GMT for my friends around the world who show up every once in a while. And yes, Dawg will have a Discord. We'll announce that shortly as soon as it happens. I thank you, everyone who participates in the chat. You make the show a lot more fun for everybody here. And those of you lurking or watching on replay, throw a comment in the comment section. Also, please, I didn't do the shill today. Hey, maybe I'll do let me do the commercial one time. Did I fix this yet? Hang on a second. Let me see if I fix. I have my commercial. I just don't know if I fixed it. Let's try that. Let's say okay, let's see if the commercial works. We'll do this real quick. And it is the right one. Hey everybody, it's me, Marty. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I hope you're enjoying the show. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you have a moment, take time to share this stream by hitting that little arrow down below or up here if you're on a mobile. And please hit the like button. I know you like it. You're still here and you're still watching. And finally, if you want to support the show, you can do that through your donations and super chats, which are in the description down below. You can do that at Streamlabs link or at PDawgKnight.live. That every little bit helps. And thank you for watching. Now back to the show. All right, and I'll actually remember to use that one of these days, but for now, that's the end of the show. Please hit the like button before you go. Thanks, everybody. Share the stream and all that stuff. It's time. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye. Bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.